Imagine my lack of surprise to have found out that the Cyberpunk 2077 is going to have microtransactions, or at least the multiplayer part of the game will have. Now, a lot of people who are very keen to defend the CDPR have gone out of their way to justify, to do some mental gymnastics to come up with excuses so that their people, their followers, think, okay, it's fine, it's fine. This game can have microtransactions, the multiplayer can have microtransactions, some microtransactions that don't affect the gameplay much, as long as said microtransactions are being made by the company CDPR, by the company we love. So people like Yongye and some other gamers are doing some mental gymnastics to justify this. And now I don't need to justify anything or say that this is a bad thing, because I actually don't mind. I don't mind the game having microtransactions either in single player or in multiplayer, because I don't spend money on it. I can just forget about it, because usually these microtransactions, they are, I mean, you can easily find them in your game, but usually you can just forget about them. You don't have to feel angry or annoyed by pop-ups reminding you every time that the game has microtransactions and that you can use it then. But basically, usually, but basically, nowadays microtransactions are just the monetization of cheat codes. Because before we had cheat codes, a lot of games had them, GTA San Andreas, and a lot of other games had those. But nowadays, said cheat codes became these microtransaction schemes. I'm talking about the ones which actually affect the gameplay, which actually help you reach your objective. But the one which are just cosmetic, those are a bit somewhat bit different. People are a lot more willing to accept those. And since this is CDPR's first attempt at microtransactions, it's going to be mostly, or at least entirely, just cosmetic microtransactions, because they don't want to piss off their fan base too much, especially with the game is so near to launch. So they're going to be very careful with this. But this is basically the destiny of every company out there, because every company wants more money, especially with the rising costs of making games, and then being unable to price their games at any value higher than $60. So really, I've seen this coming, and any other company out there who doesn't have microtransactions in their games yet will have eventually. They will put microtransactions in their games eventually, because they need more money. And if you guys actually want these companies to continue making their games, then you guys need to accept that microtransactions are here to stay, and they're going to be more and more prevalent, I guess. They're going to be more and more involved in their games than they are nowadays. So yeah, I guess some people will just have to live with this, because their multiplayer game will not be as pure as they thought it would be, because they are being shown time and time again that they are wrong about microtransactions. It's not the end of the road. They are not really that bad, and they can really help keep these companies afloat, because they need the money, and they have a lot of employees to pay. So yeah, I guess we'll see how they're going to implement microtransactions in this game, and hopefully it's going to be something a lot less invasive than what we have seen with some other games.